It's Tuesday in the Empire, which means it's like 3 days to a lot of people's payday. If you have a consistent paycheck coming in right now, I have a challenge for you. I've been working with a friend of mine on a project called AltUBI, Alternative Universal Basic Income. And the basic premise is that we build UBI ourselves through mutual aid, using platforms like Patreon, Ko-fi, Buy Me a Coffee, and Substack, where you can get monthly subscribers, allowing people to build their budget based on their actual needs, 3 times the monthly rent plus medical costs, instead of a flat rate that doesn't cover everybody's needs, especially higher needs people like disabled and chronically ill people. We want to First of all, we want to actually build UBI, and we don't trust any eugenic capitalistic government run by oligarchs to be doing it right now, or anytime in the necessary future. A lot of stuff needs to change if we're going to have any kind of distant future. So my challenge, if you have any kind of extra money coming in, is to support somebody monthly. For me and my brother, you can support us for as low as $3 a month. I think we have 4 supporters right now. And yesterday we got a $30 payout, and it made the day. It just flipped everything and made such a difference. When you don't have anything reliably coming in and are often begging for your basic necessities, having something like that, having any amount of money hit your bank account, but knowing that it's gonna come through at least once a month is a big weight off your shoulders. And the goal is to get people like me and my brother who are disabled and chronically ill and can't work consistently enough to get our needs met. The goal is to get people like us to get their needs met, and to also be able to live in safe, autonomous housing instead of wherever is convenient or accessible because they can't work and don't have an income that is good enough to get them into actual safe, autonomous housing. We need AltUBI for the homelessness crisis, for the mass disabling event that COVID has been, the mass disabling event that genocides are. We need AltUBI for the elderly. We need AltUBI for immigrants, survivors of abuse. We need AltUBI so people don't have to put themselves in situations that lead to abuse just because of financial considerations. So if you have $20 a month consistently, we're calling it the AltUBI 20 Challenge. At the end of this video, I'm going to flash all of the graphics we've made so far that have QR codes that link to people's stability funds, their foundational AltUBI fund. Everyone is a person or people who are vulnerable right now and need help getting financial stability to survive. I would love if you have $20 a month consistently that you can spare, if you can find 4 of those graphics, scan them, and commit $5 a month to each of them. If you only have $5 a month to spare, or even 3, that's fine too. You could still pick a graphic. This challenge isn't limited to picking 4 and pledging 5 and saving lives. That's a slogan one of our friends came up with. Everything adds up, so if you can only commit one $5 pledge, that is amazing. What we're really hoping for, though, is to build kind of community Kevlar for people. Small, tight stitches, pledges, monthly donations that provide a really secure protection for people. For example, we did have 5 supporters previously on our Patreon, and this week one of the $3 supporters dropped out. But last week, we got a new $5 supporter, so I couldn't even be upset about the $3 supporter dropping out. And I get it, times are hard for everybody. So I wasn't even that upset to begin with, but there was so much more balance and reassurance and so much less distress about the money aspect of it because we lost $3 but gained 5. And we still have our other supporters who support us at $5, $10, and $3 each. So I'm encouraging people who have at least $20 to spare a month to spread that money out in mutual aid regularly, create small, tight stitches, and help us build some community Kevlar. Sew some community Kevlar. Stitch whatever the phrasing should be. We're trying to make the community bulletproof. We're trying to make as much of the community bulletproof as possible. So that's another reason I'm encouraging people to do smaller donations to multiple people. We're trying not to focus on one person. I could very easily ask you to contribute $20 a month to me and my brother. That would help us out a lot. And we do work that helps a lot of people, so it would help other people. That's how mutual aid works. But we're not the only ones who need help. And it's going to be more sustainable and successful in a bigger way, a collective way, if we get all of these vulnerable people supported by small, tight stitches that add up to like a Kevlar vest for their life. Community stability is my stability. Me getting my Patreon goal met would be awesome, but I would still have so many friends and neighbors to worry about. And to be honest, if I got anywhere close to my Patreon goal, I would be using some of that money to help other people. Every time we have a little bit more money than we need to cover our immediate needs, I am sending at least a little bit to somebody's mutual aid. I have so many friends who are homeless or don't have consistent food or can't get life-sustaining medicine or who can't afford rent and will eventually become homeless because of that. People who can't feed their children or get them school supplies. People who need emergency surgeries. People whose pets need emergency surgeries. So, I don't want all your money. You don't even have to choose my graphic. I'm not going to tell you whose graphics are whose. Part of the idea is to get away from things that can allow bias to come into play. So these graphics are meant to be fairly neutral insofar as they're not telling you anything about the demographics of the people you're supporting. When you go to the individual pages, they might. But I would love for you to choose a graphic that speaks to you. Choose 4 graphics that speak to you. Go to that page and pledge $5. You could pledge more if you want to. If you have $40 a month, that would be amazing. $10 a month to 5, $10 a month to 4, the math gets hard. Vulnerable people or families would be incredible and a game changer for all of those people and families. Think about your budget. Think about what you have consistently left over every month. Is it $3 or $5? Is it $20? Is it more? How can you spread that out and ensure that your community gets more stable? The reason that I don't want you to give all of it to me is because community stability is my stability. When my friends and neighbors are stable, that means there's systems of support in place to keep them stable, which means there's systems of support in place that keep me stable. The world doesn't quite work like that, especially not on Turtle Island in the Empire, where hyper-individualism has been shoved down our throats for centuries. You may look at your neighbor being stable and think that's competition. They're stable and I'm not. And follow that thought logically. If we're competing to survive, the other person needs to be defeated, not helped. And historically, scientifically, competition doesn't lead a species to successful survival. The most successful species is the most cooperative one. And that's what AltUBI is about. It's about taking mutual aid, which is about cooperation, and changing it from emergency mutual aid, where people are begging for food and daily necessities, and turn it into sustainable, regular contributions that allow people to rest and heal and breathe and do work that they're good at and passionate about and that could literally change the world. My friend Gwen, who came up with AltUBI as a concept, in their first interview about AltUBI on a podcast, they were talking about all of the community helpers we have, in the mutual aid community especially, and disabled people who come up with solutions in a world not built for them, in survival mode. We're talking about revolution here. Think about the people, even poor people, multiply marginal people, who survive in a world not built for them, and survive for a world definitively built against them. What can we learn from those people? But more so, as my friend Gwen said, what could they do if they had the stability to just do whatever they're passionate about, to just do whatever is important to them? He's only ever been able to hold down a couple jobs because of his disabilities, and he's gotten chronically ill in a COVID world. But the things he does when he is passionate and energized and has his need met are incredible. We have rescued thousands of pounds of scrap metal and resold it to a scrapyard. That is metal. Those are resources that will be reused and not just waste in a landfill. And that's just the metal part. We've taken hundreds of pounds of recycling to the recycling center that would otherwise rot in a landfill because it was on electronics and appliances that we processed for scrap metal. This is what he's passionate about. Rescuing good items from the trash. Because I tell you, we also have sold hundreds of items that we found in the trash, and we reuse dozens, if not more, items that we found in the trash that were in perfectly good condition. Right now we have snacks and drinks that came from an apartment clean out that would otherwise be rotting in a landfill. My mom's car is full of donations that we're going to take to help domestic violence survivors in our local area. It makes me happy. Sorry, I smile. This is just some of the work we're doing without all of our needs getting met. Imagine all our needs get